While the girl was playing, she discovered something terrifying. She saw a dog appear in front of her. Watching the wild dog approach her, the girl quickly called out for her dad. However, when Ryan turned around and looked over, he found the girl had already backed up to the edge of a deep pit. Ryan hurriedly reassured his daughter not to move. Then he tried to chase the dog away. To his surprise, the dog wasn't scared. Instead, it continued to advance toward the girl. As the girl was about to fall into the pit, Ryan grabbed a stone from the ground and threw it at the dog. Unexpectedly, just as the dog was scared off, the girl, frightened, fell into the pit. As the camera brightened again, Ryan woke up. Looking at his crying wife, Ryan was stunned. At that moment, his wife rushed over, hitting Ryan, demanding to know what happened. At this point, Ryan didn't know how to react. He pushed his wife away and closed his eyes, telling himself to stay calm. Soon after, he heard his daughter calling him from behind. It turned out the girl had only fainted after breaking her arm and she wasn't in any life-threatening danger. Ryan quickly took his daughter to the hospital. But what struck him as strange was that every few minutes an ambulance would arrive at the hospital, and each time the patients on the ambulance would be taken inside, only for medical staff with boxes to come out shortly after, obviously making some kind of exchange with the driver. Ryan didn't have time to think about it. He followed the nurse into the examination room. Soon the surgeon arrived at the scene. He ordered a CT scan for the girl's head, but what Ryan found odd was that the doctor seemed even more concerned about the girl's eyes. He checked them repeatedly, even complimenting her on how beautiful her eyes were. At that moment, the doctor in charge of the tests came over. When they brought the girl to the elevator, the doctor suddenly told Ryan that due to hospital regulations, only one family member could accompany the patient in the examination area. So he asked Ryan to wait in the lobby. Several hours passed quickly. It was soon evening. Ryan woke up from his nap. He looked up at the clock and realized he had slept for 4 hours. But his wife and daughter still hadn't come out. Ryan sensed something was wrong. He went to the information desk to ask about the situation, but after the nurse checked, she said she couldn't find any record of the girl's appointment. Ryan thought they had made a mistake, so the nurse called the examination room to inquire. The response was still that no examination had been done for the girl. Ryan was stunned. Why had his wife and daughter disappeared? At that moment, someone outside was dealing with garbage. Ryan had a bad thought. He began to suspect that the hospital was involved in organ trafficking. He quickly found a patrolling police officer and told him what had happened, showing the officer the photos. The police then went to the surveillance room to check. Indeed, they didn't see any sign of Ryan's wife and daughter. It turned out that all of this was just Ryan's hallucination. His daughter had died after falling into the deep pit. Then he had pushed his wife and her body had been pierced by rebar, also leading to her death. Unable to accept the truth, Ryan had chosen to selectively forget to avoid facing the painful reality. At that moment, his wife and daughter were in the trunk of a car.